Well, all right, everybody. Welcome to Chop It Up with Tony. All right, thank y'all for joining us. This is my first episode, first show. I got some special guests in the building, but as a moment, real quick before I let it go to you guys, I'm getting some haircut right now, just FYI, because I'm here. We're here at Dynasty Barbershop. Thank y'all for having us. Well, I'm gonna pass it over, let you guys know who I have here today, because I got special guests to the heart. I got my relatives, my blood, brother and sister. Of course, you guys know Zach. Zach, say what's up.
Yeah, it's your boy, Zach the Mac, Zach the Attack. I'm here on Chop It Up. I'm so excited for my boy. I am honored to be here with you, Tony the Kid.
Yeah.
You guys know Zach the Mac here, rolling up. You know, do what you got to do. Shout out to that. Shout out to everything. That's awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Other than that, man, introduce my sister, of course, Ivory, Miss Ivory.
Lil Yurt.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi, I'm Ivory. I'm Anthony's little sister.
Speak up.
Hey, man, Tony. Hey, don't get my government name out now.
Sorry.
You gotta speak up.
Tony.
Yes.
I'm Tony's little sister. Yep, Ivory. Yep.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, they are my blood brother and sister. Same mom.
Set the record straight, man.
Same mom, different dads, of course.
For the doubters out there. So
right. But it don't matter. I think we both, all three of us growing up, and we at this point, people will be like, you guys are really brother and sisters?
Yes.
Yes, we are. You know, we're brother and sisters. We're not step brother and sisters, no matter if you guys. I know we do got another younger sibling out there right now.
We do.
With us. He'll join us very soon. Hopefully, you know, we all want to make sure we wish him the best. Addie, if you're tuning in, you're watching, you know.
We love you.
We love you for sure, man. You know, this family isn't complete when you're not with us and stuff like that. But I do gotta, you know, I appreciate you guys stopping on by for sure. You know, my first episode, want to kind of let everyone know this is going to be a good show and stuff like that. We appreciate you guys for tuning in and to kind of give what the plot is of the show itself. Is just chop it up, have a good conversations. You know, I think that's good for us and to kind of see where we're at in life. But what I like to do for my show is to kind of get the guests, you know, their life stories out there. You know what.
I'm scared.
Your experiences and stuff like that to share, you know, I think it'll be nice to share and stuff and trying to get out there, right? You know, if you feel like this is someplace you want to get out and get a personal opinion from, obviously from sibling to sibling right now, it'll be pretty good.
Well, I think we're getting. I think at this point we're getting advice from one older brother, but Mr. Host is this is your goal? Is to, I'm guessing you're gonna give out some advice here. You're gonna listen to your guest, or you gonna have, I mean, break it down. What do we?
I think really, it's to listen to guests. Like I said in my promo, you know, if you guys didn't see it or anything like that, but my preview is it's basically to share my experience too as well. You know, in it to listen to an experience, but to have a show where, you know, a lot of times we don't have a good conversation with someone and we go through life and we kind of wonder what our opinions could be. We may not have the outlets to ask those opinions. We may not have the friendships, the family to do that for.
Right.
So at least to come on here and be like, you know what, I'm going through this right now. You know, it's kind of a crazy situation. And if we can share experiences and we can share, you know, opinions on what we would do differently or whatever case it be, we kind of notices that changes the game. You know, maybe opens up a different door that we didn't realize. And it gives us another option of a choice.
It gives us an open.
But it's good to talk about it.
Right, exactly. Good to talk about what you're going through.
It's good to let it out.
Exactly. Even if it's just work. Like a mainly thing is put that way. Work. You know what I mean? Like mom's pissing us off right now because she wants to ride it everywhere. You know, that's what's crazy. But you know, not say mom, not like that. But you know, it's more or less the stuff like that. The little irritations and to kind of share like, do you agree or do I? Right. So that's all. That's what the good part of the show is going to be like. And I think we're all going to have some fun. I think we're going to have, you know, some laughs here for sure. Someone may cry, you know. Maybe.
Someone may cry. And
it might be me because I'm the crybaby in the family, I guess. You know, I get a little liquor in me, right? I get a little liquor in me, and she's, you know, I've seen it before where, you know, I ball out and stuff. But I think that's because as a man, you hold a lot in a little bit.
As a man speaking from experience too, doesn't really like to share too much about what's going on in their brain. I don't really care to. So when you do expose yourself to an open situation, it can be feelings affected first. I definitely am a man that wears my heart on my sleeve for sure. I definitely will go into I like to put myself in other people's shoes.
Mhm.
So that I notice is like sometimes that's a weakness for me because I'm always like, damn, what are they going through first? And I do put other people ahead sometimes. And
Right.
it's like it's almost like a guilty pleasure. I ain't gonna stop. It is. It's almost like I do think of others for, even if it doesn't come off that way, I genuinely am though. So I know I've definitely seen the giving side of you have your ass over there, so you can definitely be a little bit more affected. But I think between the two of us, though, I think I'm the one that'll cry first, though. Usually, I
don't know. I mean, that's the crazy
big bro.
thing.
Yeah,
Wait,
big
wait.
bro doesn't cry in front of little bro. That's what I'm saying. Big bro doesn't cry like that in front of.
Okay.
I mean, you
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
but not too much. Not too much. It's got to be.
I don't know if
down
that's
bad.
because it's just man to man,
Yeah.
or it's more or less of like because it's little bro. I can't let my feelings out like that.
You won't. We'll have a heart to heart, but crying though is not so much. Like I'll end up crying first.
To be honest, I feel the same with like not crying around Zach. So
Mm-hmm.
it's because you keep this like, stay okay. It's gonna be okay. It's
Okay.
gonna be okay. So like,
Okay.
when
Is that-
it's not bad and it's not like the best either. But
Yeah. But do both? Is that for both of you?
I've
What, you don't wanna cry?
most definitely cried more in front of Anthony.
And I've cried
Then-
more in front of Ivory.
And that's what I'm saying. So is it both of you don't want to cry in front of me?
Because of you?
Is it? That's what I'm asking.
I don't
a little
know.
bit.
Okay,
Me
okay.
personally,
Well, that's
a
what I
little
mean.
bit,
For
a
me,
little
it could
bit.
be just the boy to boy situation, but I think for Ivory, it could be the fact that you're big brother to her.
Yeah,
You
I
know
can
what
see
mean?
that.
Like,
I can see that though. Yeah.
because
Which is crazy because like I raised Ivory, so like
Exactly.
she's cried so much in front of me.
well, is that crying? I guess you're saying is that crying because she got hit, or is that crying because
Stop.
she's
I mean,
emotionally going
I
through
was there
something?
for her emotional events too, so I saw her cry. But there's definitely been like,
It's about okay.
Mhm.
Are we gonna get deep?
yeah,
go.
I was
Are we
gonna
gonna
go if you didn't.
Okay,
Go, come on.
okay. So the like reaction to when you say something, like if I say something or something's happening, you're not that affectionate. You're
Oh,
not
yeah,
like
yeah.
and it's okay because we were like mom never did
It's just
anything like
different.
that.
Mhm.
Your mom never did anything like that. So like
Facts.
as
Mhm.
much as like we can be there for you communication wise, like we're never just gonna go up to each other and like give each other a hug and stuff like
Oh,
that.
whoa.
You see what I'm
No,
saying?
I feel different because I would walk up to you, give you a hug. Though.
This is what I see. This is what I'm
But,
saying to that
okay,
part.
yeah,
To me,
yeah.
in certain situations when we have conversations like that, I may not be the one to cry, but I think he feels that I feel it in me. It's just hard for me to let it out. So he'll be the first person to be like, "No, it's okay, man. It's okay."
Yeah, that's
And
weird.
then it's
No,
weird.
but I've done it to you
I'm
too.
not gonna lie
No,
though.
no.
Yeah.
It's weird coming from you. I guess I would say.
You see?
Yeah.
You see?
I don't
That's
know.
what I'm
But I
talking
do it,
about.
though.
That's what
Yeah.
you do it.
It's
Okay.
the
I'm not
passion that comes
accusing-
with it it's a weird, not weird, but it's a different passion. I think it's because it's, I guess, knowing you, the aura is more or less of like, I'm the happy fun, I'm the cool, ha ha ha, everything's freaking hilarious. Like to get like that and to get you in the state of emotions and for you to show your expression and show your emotion of, compassion at that part, it's a thrown off. It's like, oh snap, you are.
But it's definitely sincere.
Yeah, right. It's
No, it's
exactly.
not.
It definitely
It's
is.
not.
Yeah.
No, I get that. No, that's it's completely sincere. But,
But go ahead. I
I'm
think
saying like,
yeah.
Since you don't, I guess you don't really talk about much. You know how you say you don't talk about it. Like you don't really talk about it. So me personally, I talk about it.
Yeah.
I talk about it. I don't talk about everything, but
Right.
I talk about some things.
Right.
But like you don't really talk about much. Like
And
about yourself. About yourself.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying with me. I feel like I definitely don't. I do. I put up a wall with myself for sure. That's just me. I don't know.
And that I want you to know affects like when you go to try to be there for us.
Why?
Ooh.
No. Why? I'm there for you 100%. You ain't got to be there for me. I'm there for you.
We are
I
there,
know.
but
Yeah,
it's
I hear
better,
you.
It's better if we feel like we can be there for you as much as you're being there for us.
Oh no, you guys can always be there. That's fine. I just.
But like, let us know that we're there. Like,
Yeah. Oh, you're definitely.
Hey, let's put it this way too, though. That's
We
the
gonna take
same
turns.
thing. That's the same thing we went through for a good while. Because
Yeah.
when I was grown, it was like I'm already big as it is, and I'm already, not in the house as much or whatever. And then, I moved out and stuff. And when you're growing up, going through stuff, and if we see each other, I'll be like, hey, is everything good? Is everything okay or whatever?
See,
And
but
you never that felt the same way from you. It was
Yeah.
like, I already know what you're gonna say. I don't want to hear it. So I'm just gonna not say nothing. So maybe that could have been the same dynamic what's going on between in that part, because that's what happened with me and Zach for a good while.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of caused, not say caused, but that's where I noticed Zach.
it was a standoff point. It was a standoff. It was like a not a standoff, more of a just a spacing, like
Exactly.
a spacing in the relationship for sure, a distance, if you will. But I do feel like, just to get deep, there was just things that I couldn't explain to him at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I knew I was going to be judged about, but I didn't really not care for like your advice, but I just knew like your advice wasn't going to help me. Like,
Because you just didn't want to hear it's
but no, but it's a teenager thing too. But it's like the same time, like I just like it was more of like I can't explain this. I can't
It's
explain
like how you were saying, like, you know what he's gonna say, like we already know what you're gonna say, stuff like that. So like, I see what you mean.
So I couldn't explain it to you, but it was honestly like that's what I'm saying. The root of it though was more. It was more an illegal stance. Like legally, there was like shit that I was doing that I knew he would be upset about. The thing is, like, I feel like I never got the emotionally opened up from you, because that's when I was like, "Yo, like, I would bug you and be like, you want to talk about it? You want to, like, there was times where I was bugging you, especially when I was living back at mom's. I'd be like, and then that's when you were like, nah. But you were quick to ask me for something. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, she's definitely growing up. Yeah. So that's why I felt like I never got the emotional part, because I feel like you got the emotional part. For me, there was just shit that I couldn't, like, man to man, there was just shit I couldn't tell you. You knew that. Yeah. You knew like she was getting aligned, but how it's getting aligned, let's not question that. Let's just know that everything's, the ducks are aligned. So that's why I was like, it was more like, I feel like I never did the emotion, because like with you two, it was emotional. Like I was opening up to you. Mm-hmm. I wasn't not, but at the same time, there's only so much I can, you were young, so I can't tell you what I can tell him. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yeah, I could go and tell him something, but then I can't tell you and be like, you're only like 13. I can't be like, boom, atom bomb. Like, same. And you're like, right. I don't understand that. Like,
I don't understand that.
There was this one time, like when she was like 7, and I asked her for relationship advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it like me being me? As a teenager myself, I was like, I should see what she thinks, and like, it was adorable. I loved it. She was like, yeah. She's eating a bowl of cereal. She's like, yeah, this and that, and I was like, all right, bet.
No, leave her.
Yeah. So honestly, that's what it was. I asked her relationship advice like about 2 girls, and then I was like, what do you think? She's like, cutesy, so. We didn't have the discussions, but like if I was to have that same conversation with Ivory now, I would get more of a truth. Like it'd be more of a,
the conversation would be bigger and dynamic, because it's depth that goes with the conversation.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like I always opened up to both of you. I feel like I did, even if it doesn't look like I did. Because I hate to be the enclosed brother, is what I sound like I am. But hey, that's fine with me though. Hey, that's fine. That's cool.
But that's relationships, and that's siblinghood at this point, because I guess the advice we will put out there is say, listen, but with siblings itself, the good thing, and what I want to definitely, what I'm trying to teach my kids too as well, is like, sibling wise, we have to have that open door policy of conversations, to have that communication, but also to understand there is going to be a certain time frame where you're going to feel like as if you're not, like you're not connecting yourselves either. It's just life. You're going to get over that hump as long as you guys know and feel the presence of each other in each other's lives.
So if I may, how do you feel you're going to handle your first, I'm going to get to the root of it. Okay. I want to know the big Jasmine, these are your children we're talking about, right. Jasmine and Joshua argument when they're teenagers. How are you going to handle that?
It's going to be like, you're going to, I think at this point, you're both are heard from me. I always say it too now. I'm not picking sides at this point, because you're both my children. And if I pick a side, then that's going to show I love you more than that person.
Can't do that.
And there's not. Definitely I don't love neither one of you more than the other. I love you the same because you're both my kids.
And that's a testament to, because like we didn't have that growing up.
Right.
We didn't have
that's what I was going
to. We had each other.
Right. Exactly. Right. Exactly. Like being in the house that we grew up in, like, communication wasn't like taught. We had to like kind of learn it if that made sense. And it came from you. Like it came from you mainly. Like learning the communication, let us learn the communication.
Mm-hmm.
That caused us to learn the communication.
I feel like
us.
I feel like school taught me too, though. School did like
exactly
like
socializing, all that stuff.
Like
that,
not only our household,
yeah,
like going out and talking with other, because the communication was so bad at home.
Yeah.
When we saw other people communicating well, it was like, it was like, ooh, like I didn't even know that was an option. Like you guys are sharing your opinions right now. Like what? I thought it was always just rah 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 rah, and then we're like, okay. You know,
the next day, right?
Yeah.
Pretend like as if that day never happened, right? And just keep moving forward. And I think I put it this way too. I think I owe a lot that communication part to is my relationship with Cindy, with Chloe. Is that right? Shout out, Babel. That communication taught me a lot because I think she understands too as well. Our communication with each other I learned it from that relationship, and I learned, the ins and outs of how I should be communicating, so that way it's healthy and it's not damaging to each other, and it's growth afterwards. So that way, there's no issue. There should be no issues, because if you're in that relationship, then why have a bad communication? Why be in a relationship if you can't communicate with one another? And with you guys, that'll be the exact same thing. Like, there's going to be things that you do that I may not agree with, and you guys may know that I don't agree. But at the end of the day, I think it's more or less of like,
there's things you do we don't agree with.
Right, exactly. But it's also like it's more or less like at the end of the day, we're here to help each other.
Yeah,
be there for each other.
Yeah,
we're gonna. If you ask my opinion, I'm gonna give my honest opinion. It may be just it is what it is, and that's okay. It's that respect factor between the siblings. Mm-hmm.
I do value the communication though, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Most siblings don't.
Oh my god!
Most siblings don't have this. Yeah. Most siblings. We're going to talk about it. Yeah. Oh, most siblings don't have that bond where they don't fuck with each other. I have two friends of mine that are brothers that they don't even. There's no. When I speak with one another, they don't want me to bring up their brother. Like that's how serious it is. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm talking to one of the brothers and I'm like, "Yo, I saw your brother this the other day," he's like, "I don't care about that shit." I'm like, "Oh." I can only imagine if like if I show something like about Tony the Kid here, and and they're like, "Oh yeah, this your brother? He's lame." I'll be like, "Bro, watch your mouth."
Right.
I'd be like, "Yo, chill." Or I'd be like, "Yo, this is my sister," and they'd be like, "Oh, she popped." I'd be like, "Hey, chill." Like, who was you talking to? Like, even my little brother, they'd be like, "Oh, he whack." I'd be like, "Yo, who was you talking?" Like, I would straight up I would fight, kill, like I murder. So like, I don't understand. I don't understand like not having that communication, like being like I couldn't go. Like at least a week, days. Personally, I could go a day without talking to y'all. Yeah, hell yeah.
Right,
but there's not a day-to-day incident where I don't think it. Yeah. So like,
right, exactly.
Same.
Yeah.
And I think that's I would say your opinion on the part where it's like listening to other relationships when they talk about their siblings or whatever, and the fact that knowing that we're all half brothers and sisters, right?
Yes.
That's the root.
So
of it.
it's like
exactly.
What's the like when you hear that stuff? Making it feel on the inside like what the hell?
So it's crazy to me that like even siblings like seeing other people with their siblings, the way they talk to them, the way they like act with them, like I couldn't imagine me just sitting here and just cussing y'all out, being mad and just cussing y'all out.
Right.
Knowing I'm gonna get cussed out back, but I'm saying like just do that to a sibling or say some hurtful stuff, like knowing it's gonna hurt you guys deep down. Like, no, I would never do that. Or I know you guys would never do that to me. Mm-hmm. So it's just like when I see other siblings, it's just like, oh my gosh, and you guys are like full blood, like full blood, like
they're full blood. I think that's really the crazy part because you're right.
Same day.
It's weird, and I guess we kind of have to. We know our uncles. They don't mess with each other, right?
Perfect example here at the family that we have, guys.
Exactly, in the house and stuff like that. Like there is no there, and I think that's where it bothers. Let's say it bothers some. It's bothersome to hear that because when you tell other people that type of story, it throws them off like, oh, they don't. Like, yeah, they don't. And it is what it is. It's like it doesn't make sense to why you can't just get along and why you got to be that hurtful to each other as well. Like, why is it that you have to say these things to said sibling to hurt them? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. See, I wasn't even thinking about our families, and uncles and stuff like that. Like, that's a whole different, different type of disrespect. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't imagine.
And no, like, I couldn't imagine me behaving that way with you guys. I think also that's a big thing. Like, I can't imagine behaving that way towards you guys because it's like it. I think in my mind, it's something. This is why I always say too. Like, it would totally dishonor what grandma would always want from us per se, right? Yeah. And I growing up was like that was a big key thing that every single time I see her, mijo, take care of your brother and sister. Make sure they're good. Make sure they're good. Always be there for them. Yeah. Talk to them and stuff like that, right? And if it wasn't for that in my mind and growing up after she passed, would be like, if I didn't do that, and at least if I didn't have that relationship, I felt like it was dishonoring that wish in a sense or whatever.
You were failing her. You were gonna fail her.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to do that.
I feel like I indrove that definitely in Ivory for sure. I wanted her to watch out for her little brother. Like, even if I wasn't there, I would definitely push that issue into her because she would definitely get annoyed and be like, bro, he's always around me. And I'm like, yeah, he's not gonna not. Like, you have to get used to that.
Exactly. And like, being around ain't that fun. Like, come on, man.
And this is a perfect example that I drove it in your mind because I did it to him and I wanted you to get comfortable with it. I didn't want you, no offense to you, I didn't want you to get annoyed with him to where you were like, I can't stand him. Because like Anthony, I would drive him crazy. I know I did. It was intentional sometimes. As a younger sibling, but he didn't he was never like, if I needed him, he was never not there. So I tried to drive that into, you know what I'm saying? I just tried to drive that into your mind. Like, even though he's annoying as hell, you gotta hang out with him. Like, you gotta
be like, you gotta. We're siblings. And I think
I did feel like he was getting in his own head.
A lot.
I did feel like you were pushing off not only just on me, like a lot of things.
Yeah.
And he personally reached out, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, dude, stop. I was like, dude, just knock it, like, fucking call me. I don't give a fuck. And like, I know the relationship went up 10 times that day. I know it did, because it was both ways. Either I was calling him, he was calling me, but the communication was better. You could just, we just knew it was better. You know what I'm saying? So,
agreed.
And that's I never stretched, like, I never wanted that conversation not to happen. Like, that's awesome. That's great. So I think that should go both ways. Like, I've always be bugging like Eddie and Ivory usually. So I can only imagine not like, what? Like, how you not gonna call me? Like, what's up? Like, that's crazy to me.
Like what you went through, I'm pretty sure I went through.
Yeah,
too,
like,
so
how you not
let me know. Like, and I think a lot of that experiences is different. So that's why, like, my experiences as a parent definitely is a different experience between you guys, because you not being a parent just yet, because I know that little one's coming. I don't give a damn what you say. Like, you're gonna have a little. You're gonna have a little. It's coming. It's coming. You're next. Okay.
Ew.
No. See, that's what I mean.
No. The fact that both of y'all just
not that part out. That never happened.
What do y'all know that I don't know? Like, what?
You're gonna have a baby. Okay. You're gonna have a baby. Now, that being said, though, parenting advice is different itself, and that's why a lot of times when there's parent issues, I can't really give a call to everybody and be like, this is what I'm going through, because it's a different experience.
Let's be blunt, because if you call me about it, I'll be like, what? Beat his ass. Beat her ass.
Thank you.
But you'd be like, I would be like, Zach, no, and I'm like, oh, we can't do that. Oh, okay. Wow. What? I used to whoop the shit out your ass. What you mean? Like, what? Okay. All right. My bad. So, okay. I can't give advice.
So it's different, and it's a lot different. And I think that's where, like, reaching out to each other's siblings for those advices and stuff is it challenging, and you just got to get over the hump. Just call and just talk. That's all you got to do. Just even talk, have a conversation about what you did, what's been going on. School sucks, teacher sucks,
life sucks, job sucks, wife sucks,
kids at school talking shit.
You know what I'm saying? It's
like, I didn't realize you having fights at school like that. Then that came about and was said or whatever. So,
don't say fights like.
Oh, yeah, I'll say fights.
You was fighting, bro?
Yeah.
No, not multiple.
Not multiple fights? Oh, just a few or what?
Just one.
Oh, just one.
It's just one.
One to get your rep up.
Yeah,
Oh.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to sound like that.
Well, I guess
don't
while Zach's gone in the meantime, so tell me I guess you would say now that high school's over. Now that high school's over for you per se, right?
Yeah.
Experience on high school. What was it like? Now you look back at it and just kind of give yourself a total of it. Was it like challenging per se?
It was challenging. It was very challenging. It was worth it though. It was amazing. I had a really good experience. Freshman, sophomore year until everything kind of started going downhill. Started moving around.
Yeah.
And then at the end of junior year, I went back to one school, stayed in that school, and I knew a lot of people at the last school that I went to.
Yeah.
So it was helpful.
I like the subject of fights. We all have a high school fight. Sorry.
Well, not just
What
your
we're
per se.
talking
Okay?
about.
Not fights per se, but it's high school experience, right?
Yeah.
High school experience and stuff like that. And like, I guess you'd say that. So advice for kids.
I feel like I kind of clocked out of school for a while.
What?
Well, and that I guess that has to do with what going on at home.
Everything I've been through, just everything I've been going through, or just been through in that period of being in school. Just like it was more of like what's going on in life rather than school.
Mm-hmm.
So, like when I was in school, I was just like, bro, like why am I here? Like why am I here right now? Like I have other stuff to be worried about.
So I would say is since you have a little one now and creating that dynamic for the little one in school, the goal would be what kind of goal would be different would you want the little one to go through somewhat similar of the same experiences
that I went through?
Yeah.
No.
Or what kind of dynamic do you want to create?
I want to create like a stable, I don't know if there's a bigger word for not like moving around, just staying in one place.
Yeah.
Environment, staying in one environment.
Mm-hmm.
Just raising him there, not really wanting to move him around. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Surrounding, if you will, a stable surrounding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A healthy environment. Just good. I don't know. Just healthy.
Now, I guess this is a big deal too when it comes to like with raising. Would the school itself make any difference per se?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
And to kind of define that, why would that be? Why would a school make any difference?
Because from my experience, I went to. Can I say like the schools I went to, or like?
Just say.
Okay. I went to a school in Lake Villa for, let's say, 3rd through sophomore year, and then moved junior year to Zion.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say? I said,
Zion's
Zion.
You went to Zion. Yeah, you went to Zion.
Yeah,
I know where I grew up in.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got a fellow ZB right here.
That's right.
Was there for a short period of time. It was fun while I was there. I wouldn't take it back. But the environment was a completely different environment. And if I'm being honest, it was sad.
Oh damn.
It was real sad. And
gloomy.
I told you the first day I told you and Cindy the first day I came back. When we went there, the first day we went there for like the visit thing, we all went. I was like, it's sad as hell in here. It's gloomy.
I'm not gonna lie. Look, when we walked into high school, in Zion Bend, it totally. And I said it. Oh well, but it's Zion. It's only one, so it's the only one there.
Damn, it really is.
Going in there, it was totally different than when I grew up. It was like you're skipping through class. You're still saying hi, how you doing? Because you didn't really care. You were not saying skipping. It was like, you call me. Don't care. I'm in study hall. So what are you gonna do? Give me in trouble? Because I have no study hall? I don't care. Well, you're stopping by and saying hi. But when we walked in, man, I felt like I had to put my bags. I had whatever wallet. I had to hold it tight I feel like I was about to get
So I
robbed.
had to hold it tight.
I gotta hold it tight. I felt like I was about to get robbed. I felt like someone was about to look at me and steal, like stab me or some shit. It felt weird. That dynamic of what it is now is too crazy. It's
like that flip Nokia.
don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
I got it, man. That flip
Yeah,
Nokia.
people didn't really know. But
You
you know,
know,
it was.
T9 Texan, boy. I'm on your
But you know what I mean? Like we went to our computers, went to Google or whatever, we got some news and stuff, and then we started spreading the word around high school. Instead of sitting there, having the phone and stuff, and then boom, 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 this is what we got news and stuff. The attention wasn't there like that for us to communicate to each other. And it was more fun. I thought it would be, but being there when we got there, you're right. It was gloomy as hell.
It was gloomy.
I was depressed.
It was.
I was depressed talking to the librarian who I still know because it's a friend's mother. And I've known her since junior high.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, man, the attitude's different. She's still cheesy, trying to be, to uplift, whatever. But you can tell even the back looks empty and depressed.
So is it weird that I miss the elementary Zion? I used to go to
But
elementary Zion.
I was gonna say it's not like it's still like that certain places. Like
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying like it was completely different because compared to lakes like Lake Villa,
Mhm.
it's so uppity. Like I feel like maybe it just has more windows. The sun like kind of
the sun energy coming in.
Yeah, like
Everyone got their vitamin D a
The
little bit more.
synergy is better.
There you go.
I'm
The
saying.
synergy is better.
And like, yes, it wasn't like diverse at all. It was not diverse.
Mhm.
It wasn't. It was majority, still is majority of like Caucasians. So
You was more of the only black girl there, and you got more of the attention there. That's why you liked it a lot.
not
Is that
the
what you're telling me?
attention. No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
Oh yeah, I know the sister here. What's up? Oh no, that's not what it is.
What's up?
We did the Martin Lawrence. What's up? No, like that. Oh, okay.
No.
What?
But it was more of like the teachers. Like the teachers were happy to be there. They were happy to teach you. Seemed like as
I'm ready to educate.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly.
Didn't it feel scripted though almost?
I thought our teachers were robots.
Yeah, it's especially like in elementary science.
I thought
they were just too like.
But keep it like that. Keep it like that. Because
I need
it's good for the kids.
I need someone to challenge me. Well, I would say, I can see what you mean by that. It just why I tuned in a lot of high school and stuff was first I had to, or else I couldn't be on the wrestling team. Mm-hmm. Secondly, was mainly because I really tuned in to my government teacher, and I always say like if it wasn't for Mr. Cruz, shout out to Mr. Cruz, if you out there, I don't think you're teaching any longer, but during that time frame when you was in our class and government class, I learned a lot of how to pay attention to social media. Do your research, dive in, understand, and then kind of make your own assumption or opinion and stuff like that. And it's like more or less the way he carried himself in the class. Like, hey, if you have questions, my door is always open to talk to me, communicate with me. But once you walk through that door and the buzz is passing by, I don't want to hear you didn't,
I took
you missed out
advantage of that though. Did you guys not take advantage?
Oh, I definitely did during that time frame, especially with that. Like I came to him with a bunch of stuff when it came to the projects we did.
I talked to a lot of teachers.
It was fun.
That's what I'm saying. But the teachers at Zion, they didn't even want to talk to you like that.
See,
that's
because they just like I'm here.
They didn't want to be there.
Mostly because they more or less is like they felt. I can see it right now. It's like they feel. It's only per opinion. They feel like whatever I teach you, it don't matter because you're gonna learn something else out there anyways. You're gonna do something else anyways.
Exactly, and that goes to the whole environment thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not. The teachers they don't want to waste their time, like you said. Like they're not gonna do too much for them when they know they're gonna go out there and do some badass shit. And
would you guys?
I want to say some deep stuff, but I don't want to sound too petty. But the way the environment is, mm-hmm. I'm saying Lake Villa, they're raising lawyers. The way they're teaching their kids, they're raising lawyers, doctors, stuff like that.
Which is always good.
Being at Zion, they're not raising none of that.
They're raising minimum wage.
They're raising athletes. You got to do something or you got to do something else.
Or something else.
Civilians.
And most of the time, it goes to something else.
Right. Right.
And then now it's repeating. Like it's so bad.
I ain't gonna stunt. When I went to North Chicago my freshman year, I felt that.
Mhm.
I did feel that. Like
You did go to Chicago. I totally forgot about that.
187, District 187. That's
Don't do that.
murder.
Don't do
That is.
Don't
No,
do
that is.
Don't do that.
That's what it was.
He said that proud.
I
Don't
know,
play with
14th
him.
Street.
He's at a
Don't
I
play
went
with
to 14th Street. That's,
Don't-
that was my
Don't play with him.
We was only there for about what, a half a year? Okay,
A year.
Oh,
Went
yeah.
to freshman year. Thank you very much. That's why I be saying, like, I just want this on record too. Like, they be trying to dog my high school years. Folks, I graduated all 4 years successfully. 3 different high schools did that.
Why
Talk
three?
about transfer. Yeah. Waukegan, North Chicago, and Warren.
Which one was
He
you?
outside.
Freshman center.
You went there?
Stop playing with me. Put some respect on my name.
That's what I'm saying.
No, for real. Wait, I'm kind
I went to North Chicago.
Remind me
I
of
went
time
to North.
frame.
I went to North.
Remind me of time frame.
So
of
like
all
I'm
this
explaining,
was.
I went to North Chicago. That was my first initiative high school. North
That's when
Chicago.
I
I went there
mine was
only
14.
for half the semester because the environment was so bad. I didn't go to school. I stopped going. Guys, this is your show. This is what we're talking about. I did start doing some illegal shit. I got into some bad habits. I started providing for that household that things needed to be provided for.
Mhm.
I'm saying
I did grow up using my father's address in Waukegan. You know what I'm saying? Things were different. Things were different for me. I was making a product. I was a product of my environment personally.
Exactly.
I was a product of my environment, and I had to make that shit overcome. I really did, honestly. I'm not trying to make it what it's not. With that being said, though, yeah, after going to the semester, me and my mom had a discussion like, this ain't working out for me. I don't like that school. I'm not going there. I don't want to attend. There was a dress code, white and black, remember?
What's it
So
called?
that was the time.
But you had all those big old, not the big old t-shirts, but you had the t-shirt gang. It was white. You had to mix it with the white, the red, the yellow. You like, what's it called? Set up your clothes and stuff like that. Your fashion was on fleek at that time, if we put it that way. It was on fleek at that point.
Respect.
But that's why I was like,
Respect.
but then it went from that to black and white. I remember that now. Okay.
And I didn't like the high school. I didn't like it. Everyone saw it. I definitely went through some changes there. In a different way. So with that being said, I transferred over to Waukegan, thus bringing the freshman center.
I didn't like freshman.
And this was my first experience with all 4 grades. There was a freshman, junior, sophomore, and senior.
Oh,
That was a whole different. That alone was that I felt like I was being thrown. I had to take 2 different pace buses to get to that school.
yeah, really.
I had to take a pace bus from North Chicago to go to Waukegan to go to school.
Yep.
Every morning.
Yep.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And if I miss that shit, I'm not going to school.
Right.
That's my education gone.
Yep. Right.
So I got my ass up, woke up, got in the, you know what I'm saying? So I did that. And that didn't even work out for me. I didn't like that. I successfully did that. I did my time in Waukegan. That's how I look at it, right? I did that whole time. And then I was lucky enough to be transferred over to Warren, which I do. It is like night and day. The education is night and day. The people are night and day. The friends are night and day.
Yeah, that was good. Then you turned hippie on me, man. You went hippie on me when you was in Warren, my
I
guy.
didn't get hippie. I just became civilized.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Man, that was civilized because you had, bro, you was walking around with shoelace belt straps. That's not civilized.
Still got it right now.
Hey,
Still got it right now.
look, see, no, this is civilized. A belt
Vans.
buckle civilized.
Vans.
Yeah, well,
Vans.
yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
It's the shoelace.
The shoelace belt buckle, don't do
Yeah,
that.
that's okay.
No, it's very high school. I'm pushing 30. I need to get it out. It's what it is. I'm pushing 30. I need to get it out. It's what it is. But you guys.
Self-aware is the first
The first time I understand, right?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I know me. Okay, I know me. I'm comfortable with me, G. Like I know. but growing up in high school though is graduating. After all that, that's kind of why I do feel like I need to put pressure on you two, both of you, because I know you guys both went through some shit. But graduating on time, that was a goal for me.
Mm-hmm.
That was a goal that I wanted to pursue to make an example for you, and it came to an example for you.
Yeah.
At the end of it, it was more so to prove to my siblings, to my family, that I can walk that on time. Going to those different high schools, and I had to fucking take night school because I was fucking up so bad junior year.
Mm-hmm.
For my senior year to graduate, I had to take night school and day school, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I had to go to school Tuesday, go home, eat, nap, walk back there.
Yeah.
and take more classes because of it was my fault. There was no one else to blame.
Yeah.
My dumbness, skipping, stupid, drinking, fucking around.
Mm-hmm.
But who's got to pay for that though?
Right. Yeah.
I got to put my fucking socks on one by one, shirt on, bro. I got to wake up, deal with our mother,
right,
deal with my little sister and brother,
right. And I think that's also what saying, like, it's crazy because it kind of goes to the titles will be too. Like, you guys went to multiple different high. The wrestling program was awesome.
Oh yeah, dude.
The wrestling program was totally different.
My man was a beast.
I
used to love watching his matches, dude.
It was different. The dynamic in there was like you had to pay attention to school, and it was like you had to be in wrestling. And then like the fact that you want to be a starter, then you have to get on this mat a week. Like we do the matches a week before,
mm-hmm.
to see who's going to start.
Mm-hmm.
You fight your other teammates to see who gets that starting spot. I won a couple times, I lost a couple times, or whatever. But it was that competition that put it in there.
Yeah,
and that was the only really reason why I liked the freshman center during that time frame, and it got me to at least let all my anger out, what was going on at home, of course, to all that stuff like that, and to express it there. And then moving from there, going back to Zion, and it was only moving back to Zion, not necessarily. First, it was moving back to Zion because I didn't want mom to pursue any type of legal action between mom and dad because they were going through their, shit or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I moved back over there for that, but it was also to get my street cred back over there because a lot of bull crap was going on over there that they're saying about me, and I don't like that.
Street cred.
So firstly, they say I lost the fight that I didn't lose, first off, and then I lost the fight to a person who I don't want to put his name up. I don't want to say. But then in a sense, I shouldn't have lost. So I know I didn't lose. So I go over there.
Allegedly.
No, allegedly. This is fact. He's over there by the bleachers, by the gymnasium, the bottom floor or whatever, right? Because they have the two lunches, one on the top, one on the bottom. So the bottom one, you like straight ahead, you go out. There's bleachers that are against the wall and stuff that you see right there. So sure enough, right there, post up and said, "Keep my name out your mouth. I heard some bull. Heard all this, whatever." I know. I said exactly like that. Don't
stop playing.
I know he's messing.
He said, "Can you stop?"
No. What's it called? When that face said, "Oh, hey man, that's my fault. My bad. I thought I heard. That's what I heard.
I know
you heard different.
I know you ain't gone.
And then after that, there was no conversation else about that situation. I couldn't get back and forth to school on time, so they ended up kicking me out of out of Zion. And then from there, obviously, I didn't go to school for a full year.
Job, started working, boy.
Then I started working.
I know you did. You was hustling.
And then I started working, and then I moved over to Brown Lake when we moved to Angie's crib.
Shout out to Angie, man.
Yeah, and big Angie.
We love Angie.
Yeah, we missed that house. We missed that. I ain't gonna lie. I missed the house.
I missed the house.
All that dynamic of kids just running around.
That's when you was that was little Ivory.
That's when you were born.
Yeah.
Around that time where you were born, and you were still like 3 or 4 walking around.
Not even. She was in the carrier. Remember, we used to put her on Angie's bed. Right. We used to put her on Angie's bed, and we would all watch TV.
That's right.
She was just a baby. She would start crying. We would take turns taking care of her.
Yeah, exactly.
We was all chilling, bro. Like that was man.
And at that time frame, obviously, Gramps passed away, and I think everyone was asking like, "When are you gonna go back, or what's going on with school?" And I said, "No, I'm going to graduate. I will." Like, especially the fact that Gramps passed away. That's going what I need to do. I need to graduate, not only just for myself, but to tell you guys, high school is important. Regardless of what you do outside after high school for college or whatever, it's about high school. Graduate high school, get your diploma, get your, finish on time, do what you got to do, so that way you can make the choices afterwards. Which one I do. So then from there, shout out to Chloe because Pops was like, listen, we'll get you started. You can use yes, we did legal. We used their address.
Allegedly.
Okay. Let's,
go
come back and forth. You can live in my house and you can go back and forth to go to school and stuff. And that's what I did. I sure enough did that. I went to work. I would go third shift to work, get up, leave third shift over there, park at Walmart, fall asleep, and then go to school, go for high school, and then finish high school.
Anthony was a hustler. I remember.
I was a super duper senior.
He was a hustler. Not even that. You were working very hard. When I was finishing high school or even attending, you were working very hard. There was a point in time where I was inspired by your work ethic for real, bro. This man was working his ass off, bro.
And then that too I got married after that. Shortly, a couple years later, I ended up proposing to Chloe, and then we got married.
He was working so hard, he got a ring.
In order to do all that, I had to come out of my pocket. And in order to do that, you gotta get what's it called? You gotta get 2 jobs to pay for the wedding. So sure enough, worked 2 jobs to the wedding. Was able to have the wedding. Was able to go on a honeymoon, and then afterwards, I got a full-time job with Beverly since then. But it's the grind that goes with it for high school. It's a lot of work. So we can agree that the dynamic of high schools is a big change. We need a good dynamic of a high school.
A couple similarities. I think I want to just point out real quick is that one negative scenario. We all got into an altercation after we returned to our original. You notice that? 1, 2. None of us never worked during high school.
I did.
Yeah, my last year.
Oh, you did? Oh, you guys did?
Well, because when I was working at Toys R Us, that last year when I was 17, I was still.
I'm not trying to put you on blast, but that was after you returned to get your GED?
No.
So you were working
GED, high school.
Okay.
I got my high school.
You did, yeah, you're right. You did. Okay.
No, I was working.
So that was Toys. Okay, nice.
Yeah,
okay,
last year.
You did work in high school too?
Yeah, I worked.
I didn't work in high school.
No, you didn't. No.
Yeah, okay, my bad.
I worked at 15. I was
okay,
at 15, and 14 at a dealership.
Okay, nice.
Oh, that's right.
So you guys were grinding really hard. Damn, does that make me spoiled in some way?
Just curious.
Just curious. Yeah.
Because when y'all moved away from 14th Street and y'all moved with grandma and grandpa for a while for that time period. Yeah. I mean, it's the home. Bro.
So yeah, I guess we did. Yeah.
Going back to why we got yes.
You noticed that because you went back to school, got into fight. You went back.
Yes.
I went back to Warren, got into fight.
Yeah.
We was angry kids.
Wow. We were already angry. That's what I'm saying. We were already angry kids. We were already angry kids, but the environment. Because where I was just at, that shit would not slide. Like that shit would not slide. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. But it was definitely that shit too. Like,
we can't. I think that's in the nature of like you're right about us and what we go through. It's like you're not gonna sit there and tell me I'm this person when I know for a fact I'm not. Yeah. And at that too, you keep running your mouth outside of me, and you don't say it to my face. So when I come to your face, now talk about me. Now say something else. Yeah. But you're not man enough or woman enough to say in front of me. So then don't say nothing at all. Then
keep it close. It's definitely it's that environment.
But like for me, I've only gotten in 1 fight. Mm-hmm. So like that's I know. That's why he's so quiet because he's out of all 3 of us. I
remember getting the phone call about that fight too.
He's the most crash out.
I just remember that.
No, I don't crash out.
No, crash out.
No, I don't crash. I'm gonna fight you if you want to fight. Like that.
No, that's okay. I'm not.
Well, let's.
Crash out doesn't always have to be when you started first.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I like
it
that.
Doesn't have to always.
Because when I crash out, I'm like.
Let's crash out right there.
My bad. It's kind of like the Angry Birds. So like you're the black one. So like
and when he gets mad, he
just explodes.
Yeah.
Okay. But only when you like
type shit. That's what I'm on.
Exactly.
Because I want to know. Because I remember that day that I got that phone call talking about Zach suspended or whatever. I'm like, for what? He's suspended because he got into a fight at school. For what?
Definitely.
And like, something, and then you explain it, and then you're like, this kid was saying something, whatever, and we was in lunch or something like that, and he was talking his smack or whatever, got into it, and punch, teeth, floor, done. Like the kid, they would say, what happened to the kid? Like, he has to go to freaking, he has to get his teeth done. They're talking about legal action. They're saying that they may have Zach pay for it or whatever the case to be, and that they get a dental visit.
Paying for what? What am I gonna pay for?
You gotta fix the cavity right there. You gotta put a crown on that dude's tooth.
See, he was a young crash out too. How old were you when you had your first fight?
First fight?
High school.
No, I was in elementary fighting. I was fighting in elementary.
When you were a kid, you were bad though.
Before I was angry. I was angry.
Before I was there, he was bad.
Yeah, I was angry, and I expressed a lot of that anger towards fighting in elementary. Like during the recess,
he looks like he looks like it too. Like I fight him in elementary, not in high school though.
Yeah,
I wouldn't fight you in high school, but in elementary, I said this to mom too. I would fight her in high school. I wouldn't fight you. No, I would fight Eddie too in elementary.
Me too.
But I would fight.
I'll fight Eddie all day.
No, I wouldn't fight.
I think.
I gotta see how Eddie is in high school. Then I would know. But I wouldn't fight you at all, elementary or nothing. Nah, we'd be friends. We'd be friends.
Yeah.
But I would fight you in elementary though. Elementary, high school, I ain't fucking. Because you're a wrestler. You a wrestler, so I'd be like,
it was the fact that kids in high school, kids in elementary, and then towards junior high was that fact of just talking. Like, don't say nothing. Don't say anything. Bro? Yeah. Because
you're crazy.
I'm saying because I was worried about.
How are you gonna talk crazy? You're 7.
I was worried
say
about
something. Like for me, I think it's because watching movies or listen to mom talk. It's like I know what type of bad words you're trying to tell me. So you're making fun of me. I think it was a lot because people made fun of. It's like people made fun of and thought it was easy to make fun of me, but it's not. So I'm like, I'll make fun of myself before I let you make fun of me at that time.
Okay.
And especially because I think what got me more mad is because they knew I was illiterate, so they knew they would have to pull my ass out of class to go to another class and get taught.
I didn't get.
But I would get pulled out. I would get pulled out and only be in a handful of just kids. So the fact that those kids knew that and they were talking whatever, that got me mad. So when we go to recess, it's on site. As soon as I see you over there, but if I see you with the hula hoops, I'm on
with the hula hoop.
It was, and that you can ask mom. Like she got phone calls from the school, whatever, saying, yeah, he's a good kid in class. He listens. He may be good to me as a teacher. When we ask him to do something, he does it.
You know who that sounds like? Eddie.
Yeah, but to other kids, it's a different story, and it's right because it's more. It's like I get aggravated like that. I do. I was really agitated and really upset a lot as a kid like that, and I really got into fights. And it didn't just stop there because I would bring it home sometimes with Zach. Zach got a run of it in the house. Oh my God. And exactly.
I'm saying. So he is a crash out. He is a crash out.
My thing is.
I'm not a crash out per se, but I was very impulsive. My
thing with Tony as a kid though is in elementary. I know he was bad. I heard the stories about him when I was younger, and with him becoming a teenager and having a younger sibling, I did get the brute end of it. Mm-hmm. I did. There was time. This is the hardest punch I've ever had in my life. Was by this man right here. Mm-hmm. Hardest gut punch I ever. He was like a Jet Li, the man took the soul out of my body,
and it sucked because of karate. I was like, it was karate. It was like karate punch. It was that,
and then the fact that I think he punched the wall after doing it too.
I did,
and then came to me and was like, "Are you good?" Like he was still on a rampage. So it was more like
you're right about that. You're right about that whole crash out because that was a crash out.
But growing up, you did go through it. Yeah, you did go.
It was pissed off because, especially, let's be honest. Elephant in the room, but it was more pissed off of what mom was doing at that time to us.
Yeah.
And it really aggravated me more because you can go out and go disappear for days and on end or whatever, leave us here, and then you want me to lie for you, for the fam, and then to cover up for you, whatever.
It's all
and it was like and that right there.
You shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah,
that wall, like literally. What funny part is that white wall got a lot of punch holes in it. In that
you know what it really comes down to.
And
now this is a full circle moment though. Is you would treat that wall as an Ivy would treat her door.
Oh, yeah.
I would treat my whole room.
No, it was your door though, for real.
Yeah.
Ivy used to shout out to Ivy. She used to have doors in there. She'd be like, "What up, Ivy?" She's got holes in there, bro. It was bad. You guys, you would crash out bad.
Yeah.
I was
anger issues, man.
But when you were younger, I could see kids fighting in elementary. I never fought in elementary.
I didn't fight in elementary either.
I would instigate. Elementary, I would instigate.
Because you instigated at home too.
Well, yeah.
You were okay.
Well, yeah, no.
You're the instigator in the family. You're definitely the
number one
in the household.
Definitely number one instigator. Definitely like on record. No. I don't. I genuinely don't want to fight. It's just like I hate when people like beat around the bush of like what they're mad about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you mad? And like, nah, I ain't mad. But I'm like, but you sound mad.
But you're mad.
And then they're like, nah, shut the fuck up. I'm like,
but you're mad.
But you're not mad.
And then
and then it would drive me more nuts is the little move. Hey, you mad? You mad? Hey, why you mad? What's going on?
No, like, don't be fake.
Don't be fake. Just tell me. Just tell me.
I think.
Let me play.
The older I got, it became like stop faking. I think it's more of I don't want it to sound crazy. That's all against it, but it's not fun. But it's like, dude, like be real around me.
Yeah.
Don't be fake.
Yeah.
Like,
And I balled in a lot of stuff. I didn't want to because I think at that time was either I was gonna expose a lie that I was told, and sure enough, it came out of anger. It came out of anger a lot expressed.
Like, bro, Tony the Kid, your growth with anger is an inspiration. Just so you know.
He found God
Yeah.
too. He found
Yeah,
God too.
finding God was.
Yeah.
I think I owe a lot to that, and I owe a lot that credit for sure to Chloe, because had it not been for her and my mom and pops, you know, my in-laws and stuff, like being in my life and kind of guiding me to that perspective of understanding the difference between a life without God in your life and a life with God in it. It definitely brought to me
Stability,
stability and
Peace.
mindset,
building blocks to kind of how I would like to perceive my life or what I want for my future. So I think that's a big key. And if it wasn't for that, I think you're right. I probably.
And you know what I love about that for you too is you're not one of them people that push God on someone else either.
No,
Yeah.
I love that about you, dude. That is the best thing too, because I'm not saying I hate that either, but I just it's nice
because
so
I guess it's the understanding of God, of like me being in God's grace, or attempting, because being in God's grace is an attempt every single day for people, and it's always in that manner, because you're built with, you're giving us that free will of making your right choices is the most difficult thing, because you don't want to cross that boundary of a choice, but sometimes it happens, right? But it's right. It's more or less of like, it wasn't his. If you look at it and you watch, let's say they put videos and they do stories about it and stuff like that, it's not what he's doing per se to tell you, like, do it or die. It's more or less of like, come to me and it's peace.
Yeah.
If you want to live peace, do that. If you don't, then that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
This is the type of life you're still going to go with. Yeah. It just may not be fulfilling like you would like. And then that's the thing. It's same thing with conversations with me. I'm not going to push it, but I'm going to give my experience of what's the difference between that and what I do different. Yeah. And it's all different. And everyone does it, everyone does it. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be mad. Your choices are your choices. Your beliefs are your beliefs. And that's what I believe in. Your beliefs are your beliefs. Your choices are your choices. It is who it is. But that doesn't change the fact that I should not respect you as a person.
Hell yeah.
So that's all I always put it, guys, because a lot of people are like, well, if you believe in God, you shouldn't talk to gay people. Hey, you don't believe in God, you shouldn't talk to people who do drugs.
That's crazy.
You know, whatever. But,
that's
wild. Do drugs. It is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. You can only do so much. You can only do so much too.
Yeah.
You can.
I definitely.
And you already know what you believe in. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
And it's just you do it by example. And I think that's why I'm happy. I think I'm happy for where I'm at per se, spiritually and mentally, because it allows me to kind of be a good support system to both and to the family itself, and just do what I can. If I can't do it, I can't. If I can, definitely be there. I'm for sure.
Yes.
Right. It's been good. This is a good show. Yeah. Anything else you gotta give? Any, I guess you'd say before we dip off real quick, any type of advice? You being it right now in your life, right? Per se. You being a new mom, okay? You after high school.
Finally turning 18.
Huh?
Finally turning 18.
After 18 and stuff like
18
that.
18 long years on Earth. How do you feel?
Right. What's the feeling behind that, and the advice that you would like to give to someone else who's asking for it? Like,
shout out to the 18 club. Miss that. Don't you miss being 18?
I miss being 15. I know why 15 was fun.
I miss being 5.
Google Gaga. Everything's done for you.
Google Gaga.
Yeah, new shoes every summer, man. Oh my God.
But we didn't get new shoes, but we got new shirts though.
Yeah, well, I got new shirts. That got me shirts.
Well, no, I got your shirts, but
yeah.
Yeah.
The Echo shirt, badass for sure. But yeah, any advice or you want to ask advice? Let's put it this way. Open door for that one too.
Ask. That's the good part.
Ask advice, like something that you may be going through, you're not too sure of, or whatever.
I want to say right now, just like keep going. That's it. Don't give up.
Going.
Don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
keep pushing. I don't know what other words
Keep
you can just
hustling.
say. Right,
Get your
keep
rig.
hustling. But keep
Keep
just
on
keep
keep
going.
swimming.
Just keep
Just
going.
keep swimming.
Just keep going. Because knowing that, know that life is not stopping for you. You just gotta keep going.
There you go. Get into it.
So-
Get into it. Bring it up.
You just gotta keep going. So that's the best I can say. Keep going. Know that it's gonna be okay. Stay happy. Keep going. That's it. That's really it. Make money.
Hey, girl. What about you, Zach?
Advice? Oh, God. I don't want to toot my own horn or anything. People say I give good advice. That allegedly. I'll put that there for you. But with that being said, as a grown man pushing 30, turning 30, coming the next 32 hours. I do want to say I'm honored to have.
Birthday's
I
coming
do
around
want
the
to
corner,
say I'm honored to have my siblings in my life. But as far as advice going, to anyone out there that is sad and alone, just know you are not sad and alone. With that being said, you can always talk to somebody, whether it's not a family or out of family, and want to spread social conversation. This is the thing. If you feel like you need to conversate with somebody, definitely conversate with somebody with that. Anything, however that goes. You know what I'm saying? Talk to somebody. If they don't,
Communicate.
if you don't talk, they don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's something I struggled with too. Just open it up. So, like you guys have said here, you feel like I don't open up too much, but I will. I do. I feel like I open it up enough. There's some skeletons in the closet that are just gonna stay there. But with that being said, though, just peace and love. Definitely discuss it.
Yeah.
Happy for your show, Tony.
Oh yeah. Good show. And I appreciate you guys having me on.
Congrats.
Well, having me on.
What?
Like it's y'all show. Like that feels what it feels like. But no, I
It
appreciate
wasn't
you
rolling
guys.
up by.
Right. I appreciate you guys coming on by. It was good, and I think it's a good setup for it being the first episode on there, so that way it kind of shares experience to those out there who want to be able to come on, because it's an open door, and it's like I said before, it's conversation. As you guys saw, it's conversating. It's communicating. Some stuff
These
that
were
we
real
went
life
through, finally
conversations
have fun
with
with,
us,
right?
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Whatever you get out of it is your experience, and hopefully it just gets better from here. All right. Tune on out. We'll see you guys until next time here on Chop It Up. Thank y'all for joining me, and thank y'all for coming on by.
Yes, so you would hit end show. Oh man, you got this.
Yeah, you got it.
It's still
Your
recording.
glass